I've been on a Kickstarter wait list for about a year now for the new robot vacuum D0G. It finally arrived the other day, and I've been testing it out a little bit. Overall, like, expectations set from the campaign are not being met. It's a lot smaller than I expected it to be, and as you can see, it's struggling with picking up some basic stuff off the floor. It's kind of strange, but should be sorted out in some firmware updates. They've promised like an active development cycle of something like 15 years. So some of the quirks will be ironed out, hopefully, depending on if the developers follow through. Packaging is kind of standard, I'd say. Some strange quirks, like it's not the same kind of finish I would have expected from a similar model robot vacuum. It doesn't have the mobility, as you can see. It struggles to get traction on some surfaces, and it really seems to focus on specific areas of mess instead of doing a trip around the apartment cleaning things up. I don't know if it's like machine learning or something like that, but it seems to get distracted by various things and have little outbursts like this one. It's fairly energy efficient. Takes naps or goes into sleep mode fairly frequently, but we run it around the apartment to clean up about 3 times a day. Takes in a good amount of dust and grime and things like that. Self-cleaning. You just have to at the moment you just have to sort of trigger it manually. Again, software is still kind of glitchy, so it doesn't self-clean itself. But if you put it in the right location, it'll drop its waste off and be ready to go for another cycle. Seems to be I don't know, a fairly well-running machine, but yeah, the software definitely needs work. It's lacking in the, I would say, intelligence department. I wouldn't call it a proper home assistant just yet. But if you're in the market for a home cleaning device that is fairly autonomous and really cute, I'd highly recommend the D0G model. If you've got the space for one and the I don't know, the patience for one as well, because yeah, the software development's going to take some time. Some physical traits of the D0G though. It's about, I would say, 40 centimeters in length at the moment, but I'm told that the hardware itself is actually sort of modular, so I'm expecting that extra parts will become available over the lifespan, and it'll actually increase in size. You see it has these 4 little locomotion devices that are attached to the main body. These are really good at going over all kinds of different terrain. For the moment, though, it seems like there's some issues with the servo firmware, so it's not quite operating properly. Here's the main intake for waste, dust, and grime and other sorts of household debris. You can see it's a very highly functioning device there. It's even got little barbs on the inside to pick up some waste that's a bit harder to grab normally. The little extensions from the main body don't have a lot of grabbing power themselves, but they seem pretty capable. I saw some more advanced models at the store when I picked them up, and they seem like they're quite capable little devices. Part of the features of this D0G, it's got some really sensitive audio receptors here on the side. You can see the little safety flap covering them up so they don't get damaged, but it responds to various cues. If you needed to clean a certain part of your place, it'll do it. It also has 2 visual sensors that are front facing. These ones aren't the greatest of quality compared to some of the other models that I've seen out there, but they do the trick. It'll follow some hand signs and do some basic obstacle avoidance and machine learning on what the room's shape is and what to avoid, how to get around the place. It has a balancing device at the rear of the main body, which lets it sort of, stay upright as often as it can. Right now it's not Again, software is still glitchy, it's not functioning at full capacity, but once that's up and running, it should be a good status indicator and a useful balance device for the D0G. It's covered in this like protective coating. Seems to be pretty durable, actually. You can see it's like a whole extra layer on top of the hardware. I believe it's waterproof. It's dust resistant. It gets kind of dirty, but overall, seems to be a fairly well put together little piece. It weighs about 5.5 pounds at the moment, or I'm not sure what that is in kilograms, but it's a growing piece of hardware. It's a sort of a new type of tech. I'm not too familiar with it, but I'll continue to leave reviews as this product develops. Occasionally you run into issues like this where the D0G inverts itself. So far there's nothing I've found that can sort of prevent this sort of behavior. It just tends to happen. Again, just another one of the numerous software issues with this device. As you can see, the D0G has excellent heavy shag carpets, cleaning abilities. We plan on furnishing our new home, both floors, with this style of carpets, and this is an excellent demonstration of its ability. If you're planning on doing 2-inch tall shag carpet in your place, I highly recommend the D0G. Seems to come with a wet mop feature as well. It's very, very excellent at picking up fluids. The D0G is also capable of downloading information and technique from its competitors, which means that as its firmware continues to be upgraded, it should adopt features and functions that any other vacuum cleaner normally would have.